What's happening? So this is my fourth IG live. I want to kick it off with another sponsorship spotlight from a black-owned brand. This brand, I really mess with them. It's called Gold Link Golf Club. So yeah, today I want to highlight Gold Link's Golf Club. It was started by a few of my friends at Morehouse. So D Leaks, Quincy, Ed Hills, Butch. Shout out to Roger. Go Links Golf Club, go follow them, is one of the funniest and realest pages that really capture what it's like to be a black golfer. It's hilarious. It really captures, if you want to know what it's like to be a young black male on a golf course, who probably came into the game in the last 10 years for golf, definitely follow Gold Links Golf Club. Show them some love. Amazing company. And I think they started putting out some apparel too. But yeah, like I said, started by a few friends. They really just captured the essence of what it's like to be a black golfer in a way that I hadn't seen. So just wanted to give them a shout out. Keep doing what y'all doing. Much love. Gold Links just entered. So you missed it, but I'll do it again because that's how much I rock with y'all. Gold Links is one of those companies where it's like for us, by us. There's a lot of companies that try to capitalize on black people playing golf because there's been an influx of us playing. And there's not too many companies that really capture the essence of what it feels like to be a young black golfer. And Gold Links does that for us, by us, FUBU, exactly, Harry. Like D League, shout out to him, Quincy, Ed Hills, Roger, Butch, so many others. I'm kind of honorary Gold Links too, so I'm gonna put my name in that hat as well. But yeah, as we wait on our good brother Marvin Goodly, I can just tell y'all, I don't know how today is gonna go. Marvin is a character, and I think he's dead serious. So he filled out the questionnaire. So I have some insight into him as a person, and really looking to see, the character and to see what's under the hood. So I mean, when I was thinking about the company I wanted to build in relation to like what the apps or other dating coaches or matchmakers do, I know I wanted to go deeper. So this is essentially that. It's just a conversation to do just that. So we'll see if all right, there he is. My man Marvin just joined. Go ahead and request him. All right, Marv, I sent you the invite, bro.
Yo, what's good, my brother?
My dog, you get
What's
your
up,
hair
man?
twisted. That's pretty cool. You get your hair twisted during the live?
Yeah, man. My appointment got pushed back a little bit. It's a house call. So you know how it goes, bro. Say what's up to Farron, y'all. Hi.
Hey, what's up? You said it's Karen?
Farron.
What's Okay, Farron? What's up, Farron? What's your IG?
Um, Farron is the one.
Farron is
But
the one. So if you need
I'm
your hair,
private though. I'm
oh,
private.
okay. But do you need new clients, or you're not looking for anybody new?
Do
Like, it's
I
just
need
kind of
what? New
new
clients.
clients. You want new
Oh no,
clients?
I'm
Or?
not taking any new clients. No, I hate doing hair, but I love this guy,
Hey,
so I'm gonna do it. But I don't like doing hair. I have a juicing company. You could buy juice from me all day long.
well, hey, we gonna buy some juice from you. Shout out to her, Farron's Juicing Company. Like I said, I'm all about, you know, um, giving some shout outs and some spotlights to black entrepreneurs. So shout
Yes,
out to you.
yes, thank you. Zolcher Juice.
Say-
Zolcher Juice.
Okay, say that one more time, just for the people
Say
in the back.
Zolcher, I'll text it to you.
Okay,
Zolcher Juice times
yeah, we
3.
gonna put it in live.
Yeah.
Marvin, dog, this is cool. You a wild boy, dog.
I know, bro.
Like this makes
I'm living on the edge, bro. I'm living on the edge.
this makes sense though. Like it makes sense. But let's jump into it. So I don't know if you've catch any other, the live one-on-ones I've done, but I usually start off with house rules. I'll then go into an intro that I wrote for you. Just from stuff that you've said in the questionnaire, also stuff that I've seen online. I listened to your podcast, so felt like I've gotten to know you, even just, through IG messages. And first off, I'll say you a real one because this is my fourth live, but everybody else, we kind of did like a little pre-call where it was like, you know what? I'm gonna tell you some of the questions I'll ask. Like, tell me what I can't say, what you would like me to not say. But you were like, nah, let's do it live. So
Let's
shout
keep
out
it
to
real,
you.
man. I
Let's
think
keep it
that's
real.
I think the best thing, I think people just really appreciate authenticity,
Yeah,
and so I just do my best to really just be as genuine as possible. And I feel like to even to give the best reflection of myself to the world, I don't want it to be something that's premeditated or structured. I just want it to be just raw. So yeah, man, I appreciate you even. I was even telling Farron, I was like, I thought it was pretty cool for you even to reach out to me
yeah,
and your platform, what you're doing, bro. So. Same with you, man. I just love seeing what you have going on. I love supporting brothers too, man. You're a Morehouse man
yeah.
and things like that. Even I was also kind of going through your page and looking at like your love story and kind of just the man you were when you first proposed to your wife to how you feel now. And so just even your trajectory, man, I was also really intrigued with, man. So thank you for having me on here tonight.
We locked in. And I know you got your podcast. So like I said in the messages, I'm happy to come in to your podcast, talk more about that, learn more about you there too. So it's gonna be a good conversation, and
Yeah,
we'll
bro.
continue it.
Yeah, bro. You
Bro,
got me in
I
LA.
was telling them before you came, I don't know how this is gonna go, but it's gonna be but it's gonna be a good
It's gonna be
conversation. All right,
good, bro. You check out my stylist with me. We about to have a good time.
absolutely,
I was like, is this the real life Hitch?
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
this is Hitch.
I'm
He's
trying.
Hitch.
I'm trying. So, now we're gonna get into it, man. So, like I said, just wanted to kind of kick it off with some little house rules, right? Like, we're human. We're not robots. Like, we're all complex individuals, and we're just trying to figure out this thing called life. We're trying to be authentic, just like you mentioned. So, I just asked the community, asked anybody who's listening to just, to just keep that in mind, right? Like, let's not be so quick to try to cancel somebody. Like, this whole pop the balloon culture, right? I say, if we're gonna pop a balloon, let's pop it from inflating it too much based on things that you like that you heard, just not from the one thing that you disliked and you maybe heard a lot of good stuff. So, Marvin's probably not gonna be for everybody, but like, let's just hear him out because like he may surprise you. I know you. I learned a lot about you, bro, and we're gonna get into it. So just wanted to shout you out on that and just let everybody know like this isn't about like hot take culture. I think that that's a little lame. Like for me, it's about like really getting to know someone and really trying to see if we can match them with their puzzle piece. So yeah. So let's get into your intro, bro. All right. So welcome to another well matched one on one. And this is gonna be one of them ones. I can already tell. Like my man's getting his hair twisted. All right. So what you're about to hear is going to be bigger than a dating conversation. This is a story, a mindset, and a whole vibe and, program and academy kind of wrapped in one man's journey. And so I wanted to introduce everybody to Marvin Goodly, or as he calls himself in the questionnaire, a 6'4" Hercules. Marvin was born in Cameroon, small town, to a place with no running water, no paved roads, no electricity. So this is a man who understands what it means to come from the ground up. He came from very humble beginnings, right? Made it to Howard University. Again, shout out to HU. I've had four lives. Two of the people were from HU. Shout out to you and shout out to Summer. I think I saw Summer earlier. Shout out
Hey,
to
shout out
Summer.
Summer, man.
Shout out Summer, man, for real. And then so you then moved to I think South Carolina, then you went to corporate finance. You lived in Houston for a little bit, and now you're in California running a successful event management company. So much respect. What I saw from your questionnaire, you're an extroverted person, highly, ambitious. You're very secure in yourself. You actively practice your faith. You're a Christian. You're preparing for marriage. You have a high sex drive, you have a big heart, but an even bigger personality. And it came through as I was reading your responses. I was cracking up the whole time, bro. Like, for real. Like, like the sense of humor is real. So I can see why you're having so much success in what you're doing. So you believe in traditional gender roles, in leadership rooted in empathy, and in building wealth and trust at the same time. You want a partner who's slim, thick, model height, with long hair and strong values. But more than that, what I read between the lines is you want someone who feels emotionally safe, bro, and who's like spiritually aligned and ready to pour into you just as much as you're going to pour into her, and just be selfless. So want to say, whether you follow him for his quotes, his reels, or for the fact that he always shirtless, or for the trust fund baddies movement, tonight I want to go beyond the surface. I want to go deeper, pause, right? Like I want to understand like your character and understand the full story. And I'm sure we'll talk about the stuff you shared, right? Infidelity, self-reflection, expectations versus standards. I asked you what you still need to work on. You said one word: expectations. So I cannot wait to jump in it. So yeah, buckle up. The man, the myth, the Marvin. All right. So why don't we start off with this, bro? Before we jump into the non-compatibility areas. So I want to do a better job of integrating questions from the people who like shared their questions via stories, or people who are asking questions in the chat. So if you ask questions, I'll try to do a better job today of bringing them in. Let's see if this works. So here's a question from the stories. How would people sum up what it's like to be in your presence?
It's an experience, man. I think that I just have an infectious personality, and so I'm just someone that, um, in a sense, I just magnify whatever energy is in the room. And so I'm just someone that I like to be very intimate, and so I would like to say that when I am engaging with people, I just have a genuine interest in like whoever someone is. And so like even I know we didn't really talk much, but even just kind of diving into who you are,
Yeah,
and so yeah, I'm just a person that I just have a really infectious energy, and I like to also say that I'm just very down to earth. I'm not. I don't like to take myself too serious, as you can see. And so I mean, yeah, I always like to say that it's just fun and inspiring to be around me.
love that,
Yeah.
bro. We'll do one more and then we'll jump into my structure. All right. So this person said, describe a time when you stay committed even though you wanted it to quit. What did you learn?
Oh, that's an easy one. So as some of you may know, you may not, I was actually engaged about 2 years ago. And so it was like a few months to my engagement. And it was a situation that happened where my ex fiance, she forgot my birthday. And it happened like just after I came back from France. And I was just like, I just proposed to her like a month prior. And I was like, man, I just do not know if I made the right decision. I just committed my life to a woman who, and I'm not really a birthday person, but it was like, it was like such a small gesture, a small like token of appreciation in terms of like the life I've lived. And she wasn't really there for that moment. And so I'll be honest, that was I wanted to check out of my engagement at that time. And I somewhat did a little bit, but I had to honestly pray about it and just like honestly ask God for strength because I didn't want to walk away from it. Because I'm a kind of person where I never even imagined myself getting engaged that early. Like anyone would probably tell you, everyone probably thought I got married in like my mid 30s. Like I just wasn't really like a lover boy to that extent. And so it was just one of those situations where I never fully invested and gave myself to somebody. And so when that moment occurred, it's probably the first time where I just really kind of fought to be in a relationship, even though it wasn't the best signal to fight for. And so yeah, I mean, so that's the moment where yeah, I kind of just I fought to keep myself there, but I wanted to walk away early on.
Mm,
But I just felt that it was a decision that I prayed about, and I knew it wasn't something I didn't make that decision sporadically, and being a man of faith, and she's also a woman of faith, and so I just felt at that time if God led me to her, then this is just a small storm that I just needed to continue to sail through.
absolutely. Now I appreciate you sharing that, man. And I saw your reel on that, and yeah, that's emotional. I think even in your podcast, you talked about how that broken engagement felt like it was a divorce, like the force of it, and and I can understand that just with how you kind of talked about how you maybe had to defend, the fact that you were doing this at a younger. You said you were what, like 26 or 26? How old
Yeah,
were you at the time?
I had to be 27, bro. I
Yeah,
think I just turned. Yeah, I got engaged at like 26 at 26, and I just
sheesh.
turned like the situation I have now. I just turned 27.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see that. It's like, yo, you're like trying to show up. You meet this amazing person. She's the most beautiful woman you said you had met or seen, and I think in Paris, right? And then
Yeah.
she had known about Cameroon. She had frequented Cameroon. I'm sure you're probably like, wait, hold on now, hold up now,
Like,
God, what are you
yeah,
trying?
I went to Howard, dog. I don't
Yeah,
know what Howard girl has been in Cameroon. You know
right,
what I'm
right.
saying? So it was one of those things where just like it just caught me off guard. And I think too, part of it was I was raised in a single parent home. Like my dad's never been married. It was just my dad and grandma that raised me. Lost my mom at a young age, and so part of my like dream, I would say, as a man, I was always wanted to have a family. And so to be in that position where I was like, all right, I'm having this opportunity where I can start my family. I can invest into my future. I wasn't really ready to walk away from that because that was just something that for me, I'm still am determined to accomplish. And so I think that also played a big part of it was like trying to break those generational curses, right? Especially, as a minority. And so, yeah, I think for me, it was something that I approached it in the mentality of like the moment I said, like, will you marry me? In my mind, like I was already married.
I love that. I think that's how you should approach it. And then it's like they show you something that says like I shouldn't be engaged to this person, and you have to have the strength and the fortitude to go with that. And I hate that situation happened, man. Like that's a wild situation. And I guess my question, so this is tied to the first kind of compatibility area, which is emotional intelligence. It's like, what did you learn about your own heart after that kind of heartbreak?
I think I learned that I'm just a natural giver. We were talking about this earlier. Like, I'm just a person that I can't help but pour myself into somebody. That's all I know. I mean, part of it is because where I'm from, I come from such a humble beginning. Like, I just have so much humility about my process in life. And so, being that I know I've just been so fortunate and blessed to achieve so much, experience so many things, like I just want to put that energy back out into the world because my childhood was just a lot of pain, to be honest, right? It was just struggle, trying to survive, and seeing my dad work two jobs to provide, not being able to really spend a lot of time with him, and so I'm just a person that I just give my all to not just my significant other, but people on my team, family, friends, and so I learned that moment. I just really have to do a really strenuous job of guarding my heart.
Yeah,
Because if not, then I mean, it's just naturally. I cannot help but to. It's just in me innate. Just some people have like the gift of discernment. I'm just like that's just what God blessed me with is, just the ability to just make an impact on other people's lives. And so I realize that though that at the same time too, it's something I got to protect and just be more cautious of, and just be very keen about who I share that with.
absolutely. And so, like, how do you ensure that the next woman doesn't have to pay for what the previous woman did? Just in terms of like, emotional safety.
Yeah, of course. I mean, here's the thing with me. I'm a person that, in terms of emotional intelligence, I'm not someone that I don't play the mind games. I'm not someone
Hmm.
that I'm very communicative. Like one thing I talk to my grandma every day. So
Yeah,
like even in
you
terms
and
of
your
like
grandma are tight, right? She taught you
it's
about
not
money.
Bestie, yeah, it's my dog. It's talking about like money, spirituality. Like I got my personality from my dad. I have like my like business acumen and like financial
From your
literacy from my
grandma.
grandma. And so I'm a person that like I know that whoever I'm with, I will always be a very like nurturing partner myself naturally. And so it's interesting. I was talking to Farron about this. I was like, I think I realized that I will always have I can have trust, but the only person I can never have complete faith in is God. And
Right.
that's just any person I'm with just has to accept that about me. And part of that, I mean, one, it's in scripture already. It literally says like to not put your faith in man, only put your faith in God. But I think on a deeper conceptual level, when you think about a young man who was already raised out a mother, so there's already like a certain lack of trust in terms with women. I just never, it wasn't ingrained in me, right? It was always like a certain like wall. That's why, like when I said friends would always think that I'll be the guy like in my late 30s getting married, because I just never really let women get in that close to me. And so from that to then like my engagement experience, to some extent, it's really just more so solidified the fact that I will always be able to connect, but there's just a certain part of me that just will never be accessible. And it's
And is
just,
that is
yeah, it's
that
deep.
still
It's
the
tough. It's
case
deep.
though?
Hmm?
Is that still the case, or
Uh,
like?
to a certain extent, but it's like, it's, I don't know, man. It's a, it's a complex, it's a complex theory for me. Because in the sense of like, it's like this idea where I know that I can give a certain feeling to the world that the world will never be able to give back to
There
me.
you go. Mm-hmm.
And that's just the reality I have to live with. And so part of the expectations is I just can't expect that certain energy back. Because the energy that I'm giving, that energy comes from a state of lack of what I grew up without. I give out so
Mm,
much abundance because I had so much lack in my life. I would almost be having to ask for an identical individual, someone that came from, but I would never want someone that came from my type of upbringing and background. It's just, it's too difficult. And so it's just a double-edged sword for me that I just kind of accepted it where I will likely have a successful marriage relationship as long as I'm just never, I gotta just let her be her and whatever,
yeah.
however she comes and whoever she is, and not just who she is in the moment that we meet, but also who she becomes, right? Because we're not the same person. That the person you engage to or decide to marry, you're not gonna be that same person, right? Every 4 years, even a human being's brain develops and changes. And so I know that the woman I fall in love with, she's gonna also evolve and become a new person. And being able to just also learn how to love who she is and who she becomes. And so that's just where I'm at, where it's like I have the emotional intelligence to where I would never deprive my partner of, you know, what she needs emotionally. But in terms of what she can access into me, there's
That's
just a certain part that's just no one can get there anymore, unfortunately.
well, it's still undecided, bro. Let's keep it.
You sound like
Maybe.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
what
know.
you
You're saying
said
the same
there.
thing. You sound like her.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he's a good guy. I think that he's gonna find somebody.
I agree. I think so too, and I think I can help with that, bro. So that's what this is. This whole thing is for, man. But appreciate you being real, man. That's a real answer. Um, and yeah, bro. I think that you never know what others are going through or like what's shaped them, and the fact that you've been so comfortable sharing the pain, right? I think you even said it, right? Like it's a scar, but you got to wear your scar. Like you
Yeah.
can't act like you don't have a scar. It's like, yeah, I got a scar, but this is what happened, and then like shit, the scar
Yeah.
can heal.
Yeah.
Someone said, what hairstyle is loading currently? So I I think you're going to get twist, right?
Hey, bro, you a mind reader, dog.
Yeah.
That boy good, man.
I got you, bro. So just trust me.
That
Just
boy
trust me.
sharp.
You to get
Yeah.
brave.
Yeah, yeah. Would you ever do dread? So one of the things is like when I posted your flyer, I went with the one where you was actually on the Bachelorette,
Yeah.
right? And then so people were like, "Oh, he got his hair longer now. Hold on, now it's different. Hold up." And I'm just like, "Yo, people gonna change. People gonna grow their hair out. They may cut their hair. Like, are you sticking with this, or you like what's the long-term vision for your hair?"
Man, my face card not declining with any
There
hairstyle,
you go.
honestly. I'm like, what?
Copy. Copy.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
probably gonna
bro.
rock this for a little bit. I do want to try this braid style probably like next month, but
Yeah.
I'm about to go boating tomorrow in like San Diego, and then I'm going to like Chicago this weekend, so that's why she had to pull up on me real
Oh,
quick.
no, like I said, it's so player, bro. This is cool.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, so now let's talk about communication and conflict resolution, right? So you said one of your flaws is your temperament, but you also said that you've grown more empathetic and patient. So I know that you can be passionate, you can be assertive, and you can still practice restraint. Um, but I guess my question was like, what does fighting fair look like to you now? And like
Fighting
as I'm
fair.
fighting fair, have you heard that phrase before?
That's a new one. In terms of the context you're using, you mind just
Not
explaining it to
not
me?
hidden below the belt. when
Okay.
you fighting somebody. Not saying something that you
Mm.
can't, like you're gonna be immediately upset that you said that. It's like having the frame of reference to understand in the moment. Like I'm not gonna go too low because I know that this is not gonna be. It's not gonna end well if I say the thing that's gonna be most hurtful that I may want to say in the moment. I'm gonna choose to fight fair.
I mean, yeah, I would say I do. Because I mean, part of it too, I know like words is one of those things that can just like stand. I mean, I've had like partners in the past where like they said I've said certain things that like um, they felt like they might have been belittled about it, and so for me, I am very cognizant of that, even in the sense of like one thing my dad and I used to do when we were like when I was younger, he and I would like kind of bump heads. We just like maybe not talk for like a day or two,
Mm.
and then like we'll kind of just reconvene. And so for me, I'm definitely in a space where if I don't necessarily have like the best things to say, I would just hold back or just tell her like just give me some time to like kind of collect my thoughts, and so I can come back and discuss it. But in terms of communication, I mean, I think that's the most like important aspect of any relationship. If you can have the two individuals that can always meet and just discuss whatever it is, I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, that's in any framework, relationship, business. So for me, that's like number one. Even so, I think, and kind of to your point, even in terms of like we're kind of talking about, like trust and like faith and things like that. I mean, for me, I think I would honestly also be most comfortable and able to really just feel completely free and safe in a relationship when I just have someone I can communicate with. And I just know like her style of communication is just like me because once again, right, I talk to my grandma every day. Like I know
Yeah.
some people like I know I say that repeatedly, but it's like people don't talk to their family every day. Like so people do not speak to their own mothers, fathers, grandmothers. They don't speak to them every day. It's just so it's such a small gesture, but it's just like it's just that serious to me in terms of it's like human life is so precious and we treat it as if everyone is just here for this extended period of time and like life is so fickle, and I just don't really respect that. And so once again, kind of going back to communication, I really, really emphasize and I'm just a big advocate of just like communicating. There's nothing, if you can speak about it, there's nothing you can't solve if you can speak about it.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. And I mean, like that's dope that you talk to your grandmother. I mean, there's so much wisdom there, right? There's so much that your grandmother's known you in so many stages. She remembers you in so many versions of you. She remembers all those moments where you're like, "I did that. I said that, grandma." You know what I'm saying? That's how I reacted. And so they can always kind of, provide context, connect dots. And I think that it's a cheat code for a lot of people to get close and connect with their family or even old friends from middle school or high school, right? Like they can remind you of who you are. And that's one of the things that I see in you, bro. Like you have this real solid sense of who you are, bro. Like no one can tell you who you are. Maybe your grandma can, right? But like who you are. But to that point, I agree. Like compatibility is about, if there's conflict and you want space as you do, I want to make sure that I put you with somebody who can also have that space, right? Because they don't see you not trying to have that conversation in that exact moment as like, rules of engagement, right? Like or like you posturing to fight them or like you being retaliatory, right? Like nah, like I want somebody who understands naturally like, yeah, this is kind of like what my go-to is too.
Yeah.
But I guess what I want to ask is like when you do want that space, like what would you need your partner not to do in those moments?
I mean, it's literally as simple as like I just need to sleep it off, yo. I'm like
Yeah,
24 hours, I'm good, bro. Like life,
yeah,
there's just too much going on to be upset about what happened yesterday. So I mean, I think my biggest thing is just like in terms of just like also maybe having patience with me in that
yeah,
moment. Like, but give me a day, I'll be okay. Like
right.
we'll figure it out by tomorrow. It's just I think that's one of those biggest things. Is just more so of like having the patience because like I mean I think it's one of those things like I feel as if what I mean I'm sure for you believe the same way, but you just really want someone that can understand you without you having to like always explain yourself in a sense, right? I mean, it's like this innate understanding of just like how you function. And so, yeah, I mean, I think I just want someone that can understand that like she can see the purity in terms of like my heart,
Yeah,
but it's also understand that like at the same sense too, I am a man that was damaged, and I've had to, I've had to fix myself a lot of times in life, you know. And so, I think as long as there's that same empathy for me, because I think sometimes too as men, it's just like there's this perception that like everything is
We can't get
like as a man, it's just like it's all oh, it's okay. People
either
we have
man.
stories.
Yeah.
It's just man, it gets really deep for each and every man. It's just like our experience and so yeah, man. I think for me, it's just like it's hard though, man. That's why I'm kind of saying once again expectations for a guy like me that was born at the bottom of the bottom. It's just hard to find someone that's going to understand like my outlook on life because of them.
Mm.
You know, because a lot of times, I mean, the reality of it is any woman that meets me now, she just sees me where I'm at right now. You know, she sees me in the penthouse floor view, getting my hair done on IG Live. She's not seeing, you know, the young Cameroonian kid or, you know, or even like the young entrepreneur that just started in LA, you know, is like on the verge of losing it all. She's not meeting that. She's just kind of meeting me at this stage. And so I think for a lot of people, it's just hard to really imagine like, oh, this is a man that just came from just struggle because all you see is enjoyment and contentment.
But she might not be able to see it, but she can hear you say what it was like, and
Sure.
you got to use your words to tell her what it was like, to tell her how you are feeling. And like
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to always have to tell her, but like, I would just encourage you to, saying just continue to be able to say what's on your heart for real. Like just and say it so that someone can pay attention and know how to respond and know how to treat you along the way. But you can't expect them to read your mind if you never say it in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely not
So
for sure.
yeah, yeah, you know
Yeah.
that. You know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, my man. So let's talk about financial mindset. All right. So you grew up with very humble beginnings. Like I said, like no electricity, no paved streets, man. So like, and then you were able to hit six figures before 30, probably even before 26. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I know that you're there
26.
now. 26, I figured. And and now you're building something on your own. So you have a successful business, like you said, you're in a penthouse, and I think that kind of money journey like can give you a different perspective where that it's not always about like income is important, but it's also not always about income, right? It's
Yeah,
it's it's about alignment, it's about legacy, right? It's about protection. And I don't think everybody understands that.
absolutely.
So like I guess what core money value did your grandma instill in you that like that shapes the way you move?
For honestly, it's complete independence. So my grandmother lost her husband when she was like in her 50s.
Mm,
So she's been just an independent woman, and so just seeing my grandmother just I mean truly like a strong independent black woman and so for me it's just in terms of saving, also just like never be in a position where like you just always have you need people to save you. You know, I've always been a hustler. My grandmother, like, she made me get a job when I was like 15. She was just like, you're not gonna be sitting up in this house, you need to get a job. And so like I would go to her pharmacy, I would pick up her medication. She was like, oh, go inside and ask them if they will hire you. And so it was like, yeah, so for me, like it's definitely just like, I want a girl that's just she's also a hustler. Either she a trust fund baddie that was
I
born
was
into
about to
money,
say you better say it,
or
bro.
she a trust fund baddie that's now making money, but she gotta have some money, twin. Like, I'm not playing that no more. Now it's cooked. I'm not saving no sinking ships. Like, so once again though, I'm not saying she gotta be the richest in the world, but I do want a financially independent woman, a woman that's, she got her own thing going, like once again, right? I'm a traditional man. I want to provide, I want to do all these things. But at the same time, I'm also an entrepreneur, right? There's also the ebbs and flows. And so I just want a woman that, like, if I'm ever in a position where I just need to focus on the business, I need to invest strictly in the business, she's okay with we're not taking X amount of trips this year, we're not buying X amount of luxury this year. You know what I'm saying? Because
Absolutely.
once again, she got the resources to buy that for herself. And so for me, like I said, my grandmother just taught me about financial independence. And I think for me, that's also another reason why, like, in terms of like the woman that I also want to be with, I want to be with the woman that reminds me of my grandmother. She just handled her business. She owns the deed to her house. Like she take care of everything. She pays her taxes on time, every single thing. My grandmother, I would always ask her too, like, why did you ever get remarried? And she would always say, like, God just never led me to another man. And so,
Mm.
like, yeah, man. So in terms of just like financial, like settings or financial compatibility, either she's born into money and she's doing whatever creative field she wants, or now she's a corporate baddie doing her thing. Either way, we accepting it.
Hey
Swipe
man,
that.
that's your thing. No, that's your. I mean, hey, bro. Like, I want people to come on here and say exactly what they want. Because what I don't like is when people come on here and say that, yeah, like I can do this, that, or the third. Like I don't have these crazy preferences, and then you put somebody in front of them and they're like, nah, like for those same things that I didn't say that I wasn't a fan of, like I'm saying no. So shout out to you for that. And so like while you won't date someone who makes like significantly less than you, like is that more about, and I know you talked about it, but is that more about like mindset, expectations, or lifestyle, or like all of that, or what?
I mean, yeah, bro. I think it's lifestyle compatibility, right? Mindset, right? I mean, no disrespect to any woman that's working in a modest field, but a girl that's earning significantly less than me, she's not going to be as understanding of my sacrifices.
Mm,
Because once again, it's for her. It's like if she's not willing to sacrifice, if she's already not willing to sacrifice that to earn more, she's not going to respect my sacrifices in the same pursuit, you know? So a lot of that too comes to psychology. I want a woman that she feels the same way about money as I do, you know? Because even me as an entrepreneur, it's like my, what a dollar for me as an entrepreneur, that is like $100 for somebody with a 9 to 5 because it's not guaranteed to come back tomorrow.
absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I
Like it's
see
just,
that now.
bro,
Like
you feel what I'm saying?
I do.
Bro,
I
it's just,
do, bro.
it's
I do,
different. So
man.
it's kind of just like, it's, you really need a woman that's just like, just conscious and aware of the sacrifices and also what it takes me to earn a dollar.
Absolutely.
My dollar is not the same as a blue collar or even a white collar man's dollar because I'm just taking risks for this dollar. So
So
that's the biggest thing for me is like the psychology, the lifestyle compatibility, and then same thing too, a woman that can also understand my sacrifice because at the same time, being a minority, you know, wanting to get into like the top wealth bracket, that's a sacrifice. That takes some type of sacrifice. And for me as well, I think about it as I'm working twice as hard if I'm with a woman who isn't already financially secure and I'm trying to build this legacy, I'm trying to build this empire, as opposed to aligning myself with a woman who either she comes from a family that's already well connected, well established, or she's well connected and established herself. We're supposed to be combining two resources. What frustrates me the most, especially when it comes to like minorities and blacks, when it comes to us dating, and we have like these arguments about where are we going for the first date. Oh, I want to go to Nobu. All right, you look at the statistics of the billionaires in the world, how many are black, right? So let's say there's like 1,500 billionaires in the world. Just guess how many are black.
3 or 4.
All right, that's a good guess. It's about like 20 to 25. But
Mm.
nonetheless, we're talking about 20 to 25 out of 1,000 something. And
Yeah,
we're
less than
still
one
having
percent.
these remedial conversations of where we go on the first date. This is not getting us ahead. We like even if we go to Nobu or Maestros, that money is not going to our family's foundation. We go to you want me to go get you Chanel, get you Louis. That's not going to your family's trust fund. That's going to LBMH trust fund. So even for me as well too, it's just like I just want to be aligned with a partner that understands that like I'm just not a black man that's just trying to get by. I don't want to just live a life and I just die. No. I want to be on the monuments. I want them to etch my name in stone. And the only way that happens is with a partner that's also she wants her name etched in history. I don't want someone that just wants to exist. I want someone that wants the world to remember why they existed. And so for me, that's also just it's such an imperative part. It's more than just money. It's really about what is this person like, who they want to be remembered as. And for me, someone that isn't ambitious, likely you don't really want to be remembered for much. It's not taken away from what you want to do. Everyone has different goals, but like I'm coming for the Hall of Fame. I'm coming for the Raptors. They put in my name at the top of the stadium.
Absolutely. As you should. Like, bro, go off, bro. You putting up 40 right now. Like, I mean, I love to hear that. And you're not wrong at all. I mean, I would say some people would probably view some of those places as just important to do along the way, right? So like is there a sense of balance for you where it's like, yeah, like I definitely want to stack bread, but like along the way I do want to go to Nobu every now and then. It's just maybe
Oh, Twin, we
not
doing
in
that.
those
We doing that
space.
now, Twin.
There
Like
we go.
that's already
Okay,
that's
okay,
fine.
let's go
I ain't
there.
saying we ain't going to
Right.
those.
Some people like to go to those
Yeah,
places because they view those items as heirlooms. So
yeah,
right. So like you can pass that on in that way. So, it's really about the mindset of that item. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like so here's what I wanted to ask you as you were talking. So like, do you feel like you would be set up perfectly in terms of like emotional intelligence, like just how you operate? Like, are you preparing to date someone who makes significantly more than you, or do you feel like that would be somewhat of a challenge for you?
Let me get that.
You got
Let me get
that?
that. She got more than who? Let me get that.
Okay, so
What's
like,
up?
there's no ego. Talk to the people who sometimes feel like, man, I don't know if I could date someone who makes significantly more than me. Like, blase, blase. Like, please share.
Honestly, that's a fragile male ego. You know,
There
I
you
think
go.
that's a man that you your self worth is in the ability to have control over a woman. And people know that if you are the breadwinner financially, that's a lot of men's control is in the finances. There's also financial abuse in relationships, right?
Yeah,
So most
absolutely.
men that are intimidated with dating women that make significantly more than them is because they can't control them. I'm not looking to control any woman. Like, she's a human being. She's gonna do what she wants to do. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I'm not. It doesn't phase me at the end of the day. Like, it doesn't. It's irrelevant. Like, if I'm, if I've accomplished, I mean, for me alone, like, I've done already more in my lifetime than my own family would ever do. So it's like I have nothing more to prove. So I would honestly say for a lot of men, man, put your ego aside for you blocking your blessings. Especially black men too. You know, because it's like my thing is, if we want, once again, it's only 20, 25 of us out of 1,500. We can't all just get there if we're just focused on like I gotta be the man. It's impossible, bro. It's impossible, bro. You gotta work smart, not hard. Like I even think about it too, like in the Bible. Like there's so many people in the Bible that weren't born into royalty, but God gave a kingdom to.
Yeah.
So like imagine Joseph telling God like, nah, I'd rather be a slave. That's how I feel with any man's like I got it's like I'd rather be a slave. Nah, like bro, I want the throne. So if my route to the throne is because I'm aligned with a woman that loves me and she has an excess amount of resources, I would be a fool to not still want to be with her and like, you know, maximize and capitalize off the opportunity for the both of us, for our family, our kids. Like, at the end of the day, it's like as long as we can achieve like the bigger picture, that's what I'm about. I just want a championship. I don't care about being the MVP of the team. Like, I just want to ship. I didn't think I know I'm a generational talent. As long as I'm aligned with another person that she's a generational talent, I don't care about the individual stats. As long as we get that championship trophy, we're good.
Is that why you did the video, like talk about Luka Doncic and like how you make the but you're trying
Oh,
to you're GM, you're trying to build a team, and you're taking the matters into your own hands.
exactly, bro.
I
I'm not
got you. I
turning
got
down
you.
LeBron. And LeBron want to sign to my team. Come on, LeBron.
Right.
Come on, LeBron.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. All right, bet, bro. I feel like that was very clear on like where you stand financially. Like you could, you're not trying to date someone who makes significantly less than you, but you're also, if I mean, I'm not going to share the numbers specifically, but like you're also not like being unrealistic at the floor that you've set for someone that you're looking to date, right? So it's not as crazy as people may think, but I think that for you, it's about a mindset. It's about being a partner. It's about like being a part of the team, right? Like you are, it's almost like y'all are both of the franchise players, right? So you got to
Exactly.
build the team around both of y'all. It's Shaq
Exactly.
and Kobe. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Copy. I'm just saying, I'm restating it for the people in the back. All right. So let's talk about relationship goals. So man, listen, you've been engaged, it didn't work out, but and I wouldn't even say that was a situation shit because like that was like a full on vision. Like you saw what you wanted to build, but like when love like that crashes, like it can either make you closed off or more clear. What did it do for you?
Uh, the first half, very depressed. um, the second half, clarity. But honestly, it took me a while though. I mean, it was interesting too because like I remember when I went to go do the bachelorette, and then like when I got there, I was kind of telling myself I don't need to be here. It's just because even I remember I was sitting there, I was talking to the girl that was the bachelorette of the season, Jen. I'm just like this ain't it. You know, even like when I was talking to the guys on the show, I'm kind of just like. just even when I was engaging with them, just asking them certain things, it's like
You
no
like
one really
you really
understands. Like
feel like that, or like
you
you
know what
just
I'm saying?
saying that
Like
shit?
no one really
Yeah,
understands like the seriousness of like engagement. They don't really get
yeah,
what that is. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And so once again, all of this trust fund baddie stuff, this all flourished out of that, experience for me. And so it gave me so much clarity and wisdom. Like, I mean, I kind of mentioned it like in the podcast. I'm like a 60-year-old divorced man with like 3 kids. Like I just have that much like knowledge. And it's one of those things where even in terms of like my audience, I got guys in their 50s, like in late 50s telling me like, yo, bro, like, man, I love what you're talking about, man. Thanks for saying that. And so I just meant it's just one of those things where I just gained like a lifetime of knowledge and experience and wisdom, bro, and also just spiritual maturity and discernment from that experience, man.
Good, good, bro. I love how you took something that could have broke a lot of people, and you use that to build a stronger foundation for yourself and a perspective that can help others. I mean that. So wish you the best with all that for
Thank
real.
you. And I do
Yep.
want to say, anybody listening, anyone's gone through extreme heartbreak, it did break me. So I don't want to act like I'll tell anybody now I went through a phase where like I was so emotionally weak. I had to step away from my business for like 2 months. It was points of time where like I'll just be driving and crying. I just wouldn't know. So it was like I had to literally like get away from everybody. I never wanted people to see me in that state. And so I don't want anyone else to have any shame if you go through that. Let that process and that cycle, let it happen organically. Like, it's like God will repay you double for what you lost. We've been made endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And so I don't want anyone that goes through that. Don't ignore the pain. Don't ignore that phase. Take your time with it. It's taken me 2 years and I'm still healing, to be honest with you. But there's just so much more to gain on the other side. And so I just want to mention that.
Love that. So, like, what would you say is your relationship goal right now? You said preparing for marriage. Is that true? Like, are you like? Tell me more about that.
I mean, yeah, it's like,
If I send you somebody and she's perfect, she's like, I actually saw the live. I'm cool with everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they match compatibility with the questionnaire. Actually, they may make more than you, so you're
yeah,
probably gonna perked up right for that. But it's like, are you are you really gonna be
for sure.
serious? For
She as
sure.
good as you say, I'm gonna fly her up.
There you go. She might fly
That's
you
how.
up. She might,
Hey,
yeah.
it's what. Bring her immediately.
And you're gonna focus on that one person,
Absolutely,
my
man.
man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we trust that. Okay, so then let's talk about lifestyles and values. This is 5 out of 9, so we're more than halfway through. Okay, so you are faith forward, right? So I've been hearing you talk about Christianity. You've been talking about Bible verses, like, bro. Like, I don't know if people who just kind of look at your content, in a bubble, or just like quickly understand, like how much of like your faith is a part of your personality, bro. So I loved reading that. I'm loving to hear it right now. I could tell like you lead with vision, you love luxury, but you're still like deeply rooted in, I would say, like legacy. So I guess my question was like, what does a day in the life of your future wife look like next to you?
Next to me, I mean, well, it depends based on whatever like her profession is, but in a life, I'm up usually early, like 5:30. I'm working out. I'm making a smoothie. Depending on what time she wake up, I have a smoothie waiting for her. I'm hitting the
Okay.
gym. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do like to cater too, like with like my person. So yeah, I have a smoothie for her. I work from home most of the time, so whether she's kind of like going out doing her thing, but I mean, it's a calm life, man. It's just oceanfront views. Spending the weekends, walking the boardwalk, just going out to eat. I mean, yeah, I live a calm lifestyle, I like to say. So it's a very soft life. It's a very soft
Come
life.
on, soft life.
Clock it,
Come
clock
on, soft
it.
life. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, say less. Come on, soft life. Baron, do it again. What was it? Yeah, that's okay. Copy. All right. So tell me this though, like what values would you not compromise on, no matter like how fine, or if she was a trust fund baddie, like what values are you just not compromising on?
Spirituality, reality, her keeping her word, and communication.
Okay, you had it ready. I love that, bro. I'm just taking notes. Copy. All right. So let's talk about attachment style and love languages now. So this is 6 of 9. So you're secure, you lead, you love through acts of service and words of affirmation, and you want that energy back. So you know how to show up, but the question is like, are you showing love the way like she needs it? Like, are you intentional about? Because I always tell people like, yo, you got to be the type of your type, right? So it's like, yo, you're looking for a trust fund baddie. I'm sure you probably are like, yo, I'm living a life to where a trust fund baddie would look at me like, yo, that's my type right there, right? So it's like, do you have that strategic kind of look at how you want to show love and making sure like it's aligned with how she wants to receive it?
Absolutely, because I one thing I also learned too from my previous relationships in terms of like I was always big on like I would express the love languages that I wanted to my partner, but I've learned that you gotta
Mhm.
express what do they like. What is how does she like to be loved? How does she like to be spoken to? What resonates with her? So for sure, that's one of those things for me too. Like I'm just more cognizant of in terms of understanding who is she because everyone wants to be loved differently. And so
Absolutely.
that for sure is one big like key focuser for me as well.
That's a bet, man. So like, what does it look like when you feel love back?
When I feel love back,
Yep.
oh bro, I'm like I'm just so given. I'm just like man, like I mean, I honestly I feel love back. I mean, there is just like nothing I would not do for my person. You know, what I mean,
Yep.
in
I
terms of
see that.
sacrifice. I mean, just even like I mean, honestly, I get that if I feel that same love, bro, I'm about to be the richest man in the world, bro.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I'm taking over the world, like President of the United States, right here. Like that's just really how I'm moving. Like feeling that same love back. I think for any man to truly, I mean, I think that's probably the most like life changing experience a man can have is just meeting like a great, phenomenal woman. I mean, one of my favorite stories is like Dick Cheney. Have you seen the movie Vice?
No, I haven't, bro.
It's a great movie, bro. So you watch the movie Vice.
Okay.
Dick Cheney was basically like a nobody, bro. He was like fixing power lines or something when he was with his wife.
Hmm.
She told him like go to school, and she basically like got him on the connections, and like she's the reason he became vice president. You know, and so for me, I always think
Mm,
about like an amazing partner. Like it just unlocks, uh, it just unlocks of a version of yourself you don't even know exists. And so I think even in terms of like what does that look like, I don't even know because there's just so much that can come from that moment.
absolutely. When you find a wife, you find a good thing, right?
And
So
to receive all the favor from God.
come on, man. There we go. All right. So now we're moving on to number 7, deal breakers and red flags. So you want someone who's faith aligned, financially stable, matches your sex drive. You don't want moody. You don't want ungrateful. You don't want just vibes only. Like you want that substance. And what I was thinking about as I was reading that, I was like, the older we get, the clearer the hell knows become, and like they become like boundaries too, right?
Yeah.
So like, but sometimes what looks like a red flag is just fear or like unfamiliarity too. So like, have you, like, are all your deal breakers, like, are you flexible on those? Like, are you like, yo, I know these to be the deal breakers, that's why I set them and I will never fold? Or you feel like, dang, like, maybe some of those, you could see someone changing your perspective on it?
Can't step on God. If she doesn't keep her word, how can I trust a woman? How can I trust her to be the mother of my kids if she doesn't keep her word? I mean, that's just simple. Like the values that her family instilled in her just weren't solid. And then two, if we can't speak, communicate, it's already over. It's done. It's just so sad. I think that as a human race, like we're asking for almost what you would think would be like basic necessities.
Absolutely. And
Like,
it's like, yeah, it's like, yo, those vows too,
yeah,
like how trustworthy are you gonna be because you take those vows seriously, because I know that you have that relationship with God too, so you know what it means.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Copy. All right. So penultimate, one of my favorite words, second to last. Preferred relationship roles. Okay, so you believe fully in traditional gender roles and want to lead in your household. So what I was saying was, okay, leadership in relationship isn't just about being in charge, it's about consistency, protection, and vision. And I always tell people, I don't know if you've heard this phrase, but this is something I tell people: try to be the thermostat, not the thermometer. A thermometer can just tell you the temperature, right? It's cold in here, I'm gonna be cold. It's hot in here, I'm gonna be hot. A thermostat can say, yo, it's cold, but I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna be a little bit more warm, right? Or it's hot and I'm gonna cool this shit off a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like I know what to say. I know how to get to you to where we can de-escalate,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what a leader role can do. So I guess like all that's to say, we can take it a number of ways. Like let's take it this way first. So you don't view the finances as the masculinity, right? So because you could be with someone who's like bringing in half a meal, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she has the pants in the situation. Like I want to get your perspective on finances and masculinity and being like the breadwinner.
At the end of the day, it's like I have a vision, right? I mean, I don't care how much money a woman has. Like, I just know the vision that God gave me. Maybe God gave her a vision. If He did, congrats, fulfill that vision. I know the vision
Hmm.
that God gave me, and a person that I'm with, she believes in that vision, you know. And
Hmm.
so, um, whether it's just me investing in it, well, of course, it's the two of us investing in it together. But for people, it varies. But I think the number one thing is just as a man, you have a vision, you know. So even if you have a person that have exuberant amount of money, as long as you two still have a plan as to like, what are we going to do with this? What does it look like? What is, what does the generational wealth look like? What does the legacy look like? What happens after we pass? That's the most important thing. It's just like wealth transfer. So for me, that's all it comes down to. At the end of the day, too, I mean, regardless of how much she makes, at the end of the day, that's just about to go to the kids anyway. And so as long as whether I have my own business structure, maybe we're talking about doing something together, I think it just comes to just once again, as a man, being sure of yourself and just having a vision, having a plan. Because at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter how much money either you guys have, neither y'all have a plan. What y'all gonna do?
Absolutely. So like, so you're fine with the woman co-leading?
I mean, yeah, because once again, I mean, I think like any relationship is a some aspect of like co-leading, right? But once again, a woman that gets with me, she's with me because she believes in my vision. I don't care how much money she
Absolutely.
has. She believes in the vision that I have, even for what we're going to do with the resources that we're combining together. I mean, so
If you a free agent and you come to my city, that means you believe in like, what we doing on this team. You know what I'm saying? You believe that we can fit together in this system.
exactly,
Shaq and Kobe were complementary.
exactly,
So it's like you both understand each
exactly.
other's skill sets, but you also understand that they're complementary. So you got something that you're trying to accomplish. I got something I'm kind of trying to accomplish. But we have this alignment in a way where we have this shared dream, this shared goal that we both can hit sooner and ensure that we hit that because we are aligned.
It's like, 'cause a woman with money isn't dating someone that has less resources than her, unless it's got to be your vision. What's she with you for? She don't need you to provide for her, so she needs to be led in some aspect. There's something where it's a gap. It's something that's missing for her. Most even girls that come from money, like when your financial world is fulfilled, you're bored in that aspect. There's nothing about money that excites her. What excites her is like something that's revolutionary, something that you want to get behind an ideology, behind a meaning. You want to get behind some type of symbolism. And I think for me, that's just for any man. I think if you can be symbolic about something, that is what's really groundbreaking. That's really what makes not just women, but anyone gravitate to a man. Just something about him is groundbreaking. He's doing something that's, I mean, it's more than just passion. It's just, I mean,
It's purpose.
it's
Yeah,
purpose. It's
yeah,
purpose. Yeah,
absolutely.
like it's just this unresounding uh, just like magnitude you carry with you.
Yeah. Nah, I'm with you, bro. And like, so somebody said, how do you handle the switch up? It's bound to happen.
Man, that's why I say you might as well marry rich, because when she switch up, at least you can pay for it. That's how I'm gonna handle it, bro. She got money, like she paid her dues. You know what I'm saying?
Would
But I mean, to your point though, once again, I kind of mentioned that earlier though, right? You got to learn. One thing I learned too in my past relationship, learn how to love people as they do switch and change, because once again, she's going to change. I mean, we're going to change as people, and so I think the number one thing is, as
Yeah.
long as, in a sense, like she's not changing for the worse, so to speak. I mean, but I think you do have to find ways to love who that person has become. And so, like, the biggest thing I feel like, as long as you, if you can kind of read for those flags to where I'd rather the change be something where it's like, yeah, maybe she's a little more moody than I thought, but I don't want the change to be now she's not keeping her word. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely. I get
you
exactly
know,
what you're saying. It's like
I don't mind the attitude things, but the core values that can never change. So if the switch up is the temperament, I'm okay with that. The core values, though, that for me is just a non-negotiable.
don't change certain things, right? But things can be changed.
Yeah, you know, it's
You
almost
know.
like
Yeah, that's what
it's
you're
how I was
saying.
dating a girl and like it's how I dated a girl and she never smoked before, but then we started dating and then 5 years in, so all of a sudden she's smoking hookah. Am I gonna leave her? Like, no, not really. But that's what I kind of mean, right? It's just like I might probably be like, oh yeah, I don't really like that lifestyle change kind of thing, but
Absolutely.
she's
Let's
still,
say more about that.
huh?
I didn't ask that, or you didn't say that in the questionnaire. Like, tell me more about like your lifestyle. Like, do you need someone who's like, we're gonna talk about, physical attraction just after this, but like lifestyle, can she smoke? Can she drink? Like, do you smoke? Do you drink? Like, just curious
Yeah.
more about
I mean, yeah,
that.
so for me, I smoke weed, I drink, you know what I'm saying? I don't want a girl that smokes cigarettes, you know what I'm saying? I'll let weed slide, you know what I mean? Put the hookah down, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I don't mind drinking. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, she has a balanced life as long as she's like healthy, you know, in shape, take care of herself. I'm not that like I'm not tripping that much. I mean, I went to Howard, bro. So a lot of girls in the school they party hard, and so
Hmm.
I'm like I'm pretty used to girls that like party hard but still handle their business.
Okay, I hear you with the dog whistle. With party hard.
Yeah,
Everybody who party hard know exactly what you
exactly.
mean by that. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna talk about physical attraction. Okay, so you like someone that's slim, thick, model height, long hair, but you also said presence and intellect matter most. Is that true? And like, why don't you describe like, okay, so slim, thick, like, is there like a specific criteria that they have to meet for that, or is it like what is it an eye test? What is it for you?
I mean, that's like an eye test kind of thing, you know. Like I just like like I don't know, I just like beautiful women with nice physiques.
Okay.
Yeah, more like an eye test kind of thing. I mean, if I had to go like, oh, like a specific height, like I think what 5'7" is considered tall for a girl, right? It's like so,
Summer's
right? Like
five
5'7".
seven, I think.
Yeah, it's
Summer's
like
five
it's
seven.
like 5'7". I'll cap it at like 5'11". 5'10" would be perfect, but 5'11", I'm like, all right, now you gotta slow down.
Because
I
the
know.
heels, right?
You
Yeah,
say what?
because the heels, right? Because you're
And
six
heels,
four.
exactly. Yeah, heels,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
you couldn't
But yeah,
date
no, I mean
someone.
that's the
You
beauty
couldn't date
thing.
someone
It's just
taller
like,
than you.
huh?
You couldn't date someone who is taller than you with heels.
I mean, like, if he's 6'4" and money, I'm cool.
That's a
I'm not trying to look up that
WNBA
much.
player. You
Huh?
counting out WNBA players.
Yeah. She gotta be in the league though. She
Yeah,
gotta be in the league.
okay, okay, cool.
She gotta be in the league.
Say less. Okay, okay, okay. So
Angel
like,
Reese holler at me.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay, so like, what's a beauty standard you used to hold that now you've outgrown?
A beauty stand I used to hold and I've outgrown. That's a good question. Um, what have I outgrown beauty standard was? Huh. Reflect on that. I'm trying to think.
Hmm.
Beauty standard. Uh, mm, does beauty only have to be like okay? So beauty has to be specifically like physical looks. It can't be like
You know what? Yeah, I mean, this is the physical attraction one. You kind of talked about like what makes someone beautiful in terms of like her intellect and her like, just her ability to support the vision and, how she shows up in the world, like her presence, like not, just being a trustworthy person. So yeah, I was really trying to push to physical, but you could take it
okay.
however.
Oh, okay. A beauty standard.
Like she don't gotta have a big booty no more.
Come on, Farron. That's what I'm saying.
No,
Like, help.
we still need that. We
I,
still need that.
eyelashes. Is it
Oh,
is it
okay.
hair? Is
Okay.
it is it?
Alright.
You don't gotta have long hair no more.
I got you, twin. I got you, twin.
Yeah.
Now, for this, a beauty standard I just don't rock with, I don't want no enhancements.
No enhancement.
No enhancements. No fillers.
Mm-hmm.
No
Or
BBLs.
Beijing.
I mean,
Yeah, I
the
feel it.
the 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 breast job after kids, I understand. You know what I mean? Or even sometimes I know some women like you guys like sometimes they need it for like medical purposes, you know, certain things back.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it. Now if it's invasive surgery, I get it, but I don't want any non-invasive surgeries. I don't want no additional enhancements. That's one I'm good on that. I be looking at girls now like, why your lips trying to be bigger than mine? Like what's going on? Are those really yours?
Mm,
Like, you know what I mean? So that's my number one thing is I don't want no enhancements.
I got you. And what about race?
Race, I'm open to race to be honest,
Okay.
bro. So I've dated a wide variety of like girls, especially like post college. I mean, I would say like for me, I preferably I've never seriously dated a girl that didn't at least have like one parent was African. And so like I'm still kind of like I don't really see myself moving out of that. I don't mind her being mixed, but somebody gotta be from Africa. Once again, it's the cultural understanding. I'm just not trying to really explain all of that to somebody. So I would say even race wise, I'm open to a diverse mix, but preferably somebody who does have at least like one black parent.
Black or African?
Excuse me. Well, I mean, yeah, it's like such a because like American black and we'll go
Yeah.
African.
African.
One
Yeah,
African
you
parent.
said what you said,
Not
what you
South
said,
African.
bruh.
Not South African. Not South. Unless
Oh
it's a black South
my
African.
God.
Yeah, not, you know what I'm saying? Like
Don't
a
do
real
that.
South African. A real South
That's
African.
crazy, bro. That's crazy, man. Well, look, that's all the questions I had. But let me just see if there's anything else that's like, you
What's up,
know,
Tierra? Tierra dropping the live, man. What's up, Tierra?
what's up, Tierra? What's happening? Okay, cool. Yeah, man. So someone just asked, I think it's a deep question. What parts of yourself did you have to let die in order to grow?
Oh man.
Yes, I know. I preface it by saying it was a deep
Oh
question, bro.
man. I'll be honest, man. I lost the entire older version of myself.
Mm.
It's honestly it's something I miss. I lost like the innocence. I lost my innocence. I just had a more childlike belief about love,
Mm.
and that's something that had to die for me to get to where I am right now.
Yeah, I heard that. I mean, we have that mutual friend, and kind of talked about that. But I mean, honestly, bro, I think that like you just locked in
Yeah,
with what you want, and I respect that tremendously, bro. Like I said, I'm taking matching you very seriously. So again, appreciate you allowing me to attempt this. You're a cool dude, man, and I just wish you the best in just a successful career. So just appreciate you for being, bold enough, cool enough, confident enough to do this live one on one and to put your story out there so that we can potentially find someone to put in front of you. And I would love to just follow that along because I love matching people that's like been on shows. There's a few people who've been on different shows that's done the well match.
yeah,
And so I'm like competitive, bro. Like I want to be able to be like, yeah, they couldn't, blah 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 can do this, blah 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 can do that, but I found somebody dope for them. So yeah, man, just continue to be honest, continue to wear your heart on your sleeve, bro. And I do appreciate, you know, what you stand for. And I just appreciate you just being honest with us today.
yeah. Man, Alex, thank you, man. This is truly an honor. I appreciate you even just like taking the time now, man. God bless you, everything you're doing. I wish you nothing but abundance, success. I mean, just 100,000 times whatever you want in life, bro. I hope God is just blows your mind, bro. Just
My
truly,
man.
man, I can just feel your heart from this conversation, man. And I appreciate you even having me on your platform, man.
Same.
Seriously.
And I'm coming on yours, bro. So
Yeah,
whenever
no,
you
my
in
phone.
Houston
We in
or
there, bro. We in there.
let's go,
No,
let's go.
you're in LA,
What
bro.
is
You're in
this?
LA. You
Not
got
probably
it.
not the
Hey,
right time to do that, but what I'm saying, soft life.
clock it.
The clock got you. That's funny, man. But hey, Farron, it's a pleasure to meet you too. Like, didn't know there was
Thank
gonna be
you.
a guest.
Likewise.
Yeah, you are the MVP, man.
Not the
That was such a cool thing to
not
see.
the
This
MVP.
man pops up, he's getting his hair twisted. That's some player shit,
Hey,
bro. Like,
how's
You
looking?
just saying it too. I'm like,
Hey, chat. Hey, chat. How's looking? Chat. How's looking? How's looking?
hey,
How's looking?
Let them know,
How we look?
chat. Let them know.
Some of the other, some of the other chat. How we look? Some of the other.
Yeah, they said fire,
He
bro. They
got a
said
head. He
fire.
got a head.
He got a well,
I'm
all right,
Dr.
man.
Ed right here.
I'll let Fair get back to it, man. But again, appreciate you, bro, and we'll talk.
Thank you, bro. Yo, I ain't like yo. Make sure you save this live, bro. Send it to me.
Absolutely, I
Yeah,
got
it's like an
you.
amazing live. We gotta go. We gotta put this like everywhere.
Absolutely, I got you, bro. All
Yeah.
right, man.
All right, bro.
All right,
God
peace.
bless, bro. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.